And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Highly Unlikely. It's your boy Drew here with my boy Raj.
What up? What's going on?
Welcome to our Wednesday episode, Water Cooler Wednesday, where we just talk about sports.
That you will be getting Thursday.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No,
we had some work issues yesterday, so we could not record, so you're getting this a day late, but y'all can suck it. We were just talking about how I can't drink anything apart from black coffee because my stomach's fucked.
Yeah.
I was saying that on the weekend, I partied, first time in a while, and man, I was having like stomach cramps. I ate a bunch of pizza, that's for one too, and a bunch of fucking alcohol. But bro, like I was literally like, you know, when you have like a calf cramp.
Oh yeah,
dude, I was getting that like in my stomach, and I was like in a
fetal position,
bro. I sort of got in a ball in the fetal position on the couch, just like, bro, it was fucking terrible.
Like, who bought this guy?
Bro, it was so fucking like, and the older I'm getting now too, it's getting worse. Like it's not getting better. Like,
no way.
No, I straight up think I got Crohn's or some shit, man.
My cousin has that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you try to get like surgery and to repair it?
No, he's had it real bad too, and like fuck, ever since I can remember, he's like been battling this shit. I actually feel pretty bad for him, but
fuck, Rabbit was scaring me yesterday, man. He was like,
that?
Well, I was telling him about the weekend. I guess it was Monday, not yesterday. And he was like, yeah, like if you got it, some people you have to like cut out parts of your intestine and like it's crazy surgery. I'm like, dude, am I gonna die? Is this over?
Probably wouldn't believe like surgeon talk from anyone in our office,
especially Sneaky Pete, especially. You know what I'm saying?
That's just my advice, but yeah,
still, dude,
your heart's like WebMDing it, getting yourself all
real
worried and shit, dude. Nah.
Speaking of WebMD, you actually might know this.
What's that?
So I'm on a cycle right now, but I'm at the point where like I either have to gear down and get off and then get on blockers, or re-up and order more. And I have
the latter, obviously.
This is the thing.
Let's delay the inevitable here. Let's go.
This is the thing. Is the amount I've been taking technically isn't really a lot. I don't do injectables. We've talked about this. It's just caps, and I'm doing 40 milligrams, which is not a lot by Roid Monkey standards. So
whatever. You don't want to be like a roid monkey either, though.
Exactly.
That's not the goal here, right?
So I need to do a bunch of WebMDing like in the next day or two to figure out if I'm gonna drag this out for another couple months.
Or do you want to lay off now and go hard right before summer?
Well, that's the thing is,
like, if you go hard now, you're not going to go hard right before summer, so it's up to you.
This is the thing is, for me, summer's a write-off because I just drink way too much. I don't even try. Like, I'll gym maybe like
so you don't want to do it
I gym like 2-3 times a week. So what I want to do is stay on until like May, so for 2 more months, and then cycle off.
So you're going hard
May.
then, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So, but I've been on since September because my back. So it's like 6 months, right? It's a long time.
My back, yeah.
Bro, I couldn't walk.
That's
I couldn't
what I said
shit.
to the
I
doctor,
couldn't do anything, bro. It was terrible. I was looking like you with your arm. That was my lower back, bro. It was fucked up.
I know. I feel the lower back shit, man.
Fuck.
My back was super fucked. So what's going on with you? What's new? What'd you do for? Do you do like without like getting too personal? You did like a house party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, nice. But it wasn't anything crazy. Like, my one buddy. Actually, I don't even know if he listens to the show, but if he does, fuck it. This girl that he's fucking with right now is like just out to lunch and is totally like messing with his head.
Yeah.
But like big time.
Okay.
Like to the point where it's like, bro, like you got to get off this girl. And like all of us have told him, like, bro, like she just plays games with him and shit, right? So it was his birthday last weekend, and she and her friend took him out and kind of shat the bed on it. Just was like, didn't really have that good of a time. So like, hey, let's do something this weekend. So it was like 5-6 of us, and some other randoms showed up too, uninvited, which is bull fucking shit. Straight up uninvited.
So was somebody brought him?
No.
Or somebody,
it was at his house, my buddy's house, right?
Okay.
But then some other randoms just like bust through the front door, showed up, and just knocked on the front door. We're like, what the fuck are you doing here? It was whack.
Wow.
But either way, it was fun. Like, I hadn't seen those guys in a while. We hadn't drank in fucking months, so it was good.
Nice. Yeah, it's always nice to fucking get out and drink.
Yeah, no shit, right? What about you?
Yeah. Not much, man. Busy as usual. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody, too. They shut all that shit down today, 8 o'clock.
So whack.
Super weak, yeah, it is.
Yeah, do you understand why they do this, like, you know, in Chicago, how they do the Green River thing?
Mm-hmm.
Looks wild. But, like, why did
they've been doing that forever? Like,
how did it get started? You know
I don't know, but
I've been
seeing that shit for a long time. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm sure it's not like good for.
Imagine being a shark trying to hunt fish. They're just
whatever.
Neon green fucking tuna
Pretty
running
cool
around.
though, I guess. They said, they did it this year, like it's gonna lift everyone's spirits, but I don't think so.
Yeah, from inside their apartment building.
Yeah, exactly right. They're all locked down. But I guess I don't know. Hopefully, light at the end of the tunnel, though, right?
Yes, sir. Probably the most interesting thing that's been going on this week, to be honest, is just NFL trade deadline or free agency opening.
I've been mad crazy, dude.
It's been fucking wild, bro. Trades up the yin, and you want to get into it? Because I know you had full breakdown of shit. I got a bunch too.
Yeah, go hard. Dude, what do you want to talk about?
What's the most interesting thing you got? Maybe we start with the least interesting. We'll do some small shit first and build.
Well, to me that might be the same answer, to be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
The Patriots.
Dude, they've been spinning up the wazoo.
But here's my thing. So like I said, it could be both answers here.
How so?
I like what they did with the tight ends.
So do you want to give a rundown of what exactly they did?
Yeah.
For those who don't know.
So, sorry, I'm just pulling up my notes here. So the Patriots on day one. So okay, back it up. They had $68 million in cap space to spend when most teams are cash strapped.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Most money they've had in a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Most money in a long time. Even I don't know if you remember last year, Bill Belichick was saying that was the cost of going to the Super Bowls. Like they had nothing last year, they couldn't do anything.
Yep.
And that's what happens when you win Super Bowls, right? Mm-hmm. So, first day of free agency, they signed former Tennessee Titans tight end Johnny Smith, 4-year, $50 million.
Unreal player.
He's good. Now here's the thing. Haven't really seen his full potential because they run the ball so much in Tennessee, right? Mm-hmm. Although he did set career highs last season with 41 receptions, 448 yards, and 8 touchdowns. I do like him as a player. I think he's good.
Boy can play, man.
He's 25 years old. So his new $12.5 million annual salary ranks third amongst tight end behind only Kittle and Kelsey. So those are big names. After signing Jonnu Smith, they signed Matt Judon from the Baltimore Ravens. He's a linebacker. Now, they overpaid, but when you're New England without Tom Brady, you're going to have to overpay, right?
For sure.
So they signed Judon to a 4-year, $56 million, $32 million guaranteed. So he spent his first 5 seasons with Baltimore.
Yeah.
Played last year under the franchise tag and has recorded 6+ sacks in each of his last 4 seasons, including career high 9.5 in 2019.
Yep.
So New England as a team recorded only 24 sacks last year, with Chase Winovich leading with 5.5 only. So he's definitely going to add to it, and also too they're going to have 8 returning players coming back too, not including all these guys we're going to talk about. So that whole team is going to be different.
Huge. We touched on Johnny Smith, but specifically for me at least, the offensive side of the ball. The other 3 guys they got were Hunter Henry from
him. And a little bit Chargers. Injury issue with him, but I do like him for sure.
And I think just want to finish on the offense. I really like Hunter Henry too. Nelson Aguilar, wide receiver, ex Las Vegas Raiders, and then Kendrick Bourne, who I forget where he came from.
San Fran.
So the thing is, none of these guys are like super standout apart from their 2 tight ends, but having these are all B, and then the tight ends I think in my opinion are both B+ players. Specifically the tight end package what I love about this so much is Bill Belichick realizing and basically admitting in this entire thing hey, I don't know how to draft offensive skill positions apart from running backs. They drafted 2 tight ends either last year or the year before, right?
2 last year, both in the 3rd round, and then you had to sign 2 in free agency
and whiffed on both of them. So there's a lot of players and coaches and GMs, we've touched on this too, who basically are unwilling to admit they're wrong and move off their mistakes and say that they're bad at something. Bill Belichick is like, no, I'm fucking bad. So if I can't draft wide receiver and tight end talent, I'm going to go sign it. And he shored up a huge hole in his roster.
So, a couple things I want to say.
Yeah.
So, love the tight ends. Going back to the question earlier. Don't like the wide receivers.
Okay.
You're essentially spending or $50 million for those wide receivers.
I actually just have the guaranteed money in front of me. I don't have their full contract.
I think one's getting 2-year 26, Aguilar, and Bourne's getting 3 at 22.
Yeah.
Or 22 and a half. So whatever, roughly $50 million.
Yep.
Between both those guys, I don't think you get 1,000 yards.
I agree.
So now I will say this: Aguilar last year under the Raiders had a good year, kind of a revival year from him. Very up and down in Philadelphia before that.
He's got speed. He's got real speed.
But here's the thing, too. This is Derek Carr getting in the ball. Mm-hmm. Cam Newton throwing those 8-yard right into the ground throws. So,
balls.
He's like spiking the ball every throw, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It just remains to be seen. Like I said, they're obviously going to work their offense from the inside out. So it starts with the tight ends, and then it goes to the receivers. So
yep. And in my opinion, the last time the Patriots offense was like elite was when it was Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez ripping up the inside with a solid run game. So like
for sure.
For this, to me, it's like also another note to this is the last time Cam was successful, like when they went on their run to the Super Bowl, was when there was a bunch of good tight end plays.
Yeah, Greg Olsen. Yeah,
exactly. So like I think this is a double hit on like, hey, let's get back to what we're good at, which is pounding the ball with our tight ends and running these inside routes. And Cam Newton is also extremely proficient and comfortable with that. So I think this is, one, Patriots shoring up their weakness, and two, like, because they didn't make a run at any other QB, this is like, okay, let's build a team around Cam while shoring up one of our weaknesses. No. I like the move. I agree with you, though, that Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne, it's really But when you have two, like, who you going to, like, obviously you're going to double team either Johnny Smith or Hunter Henry. And so you're going to allow Aguilar to go up against the 3 or the 2 guy with his speed, and then Bourne obviously is going to be 3rd, 4th guy. So, like, I'm really happy with those 2 options as 3rd and 4th options. Now, there isn't a clear, like, number one pure wide receiver on the team, but if they just don't play that way, then I think they'll be okay.
Now, Aguilar coming off a career high, 900 yards, 8 touchdowns last year.
Yep.
And averaged the 2nd most yards per catch, so he stretches the field at almost 19 yards. So, Bourne posted a career high, almost 50 receptions, 670 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's only 25 years old. Mm-hmm. They also, like we talked about Cam, they re-signed Cam, and the deal is like $14 million, but really it's like only a $6 million contract. It's like $8 million incentives, yeah. Right? They did bring back Trent Brown, the offensive lineman, as well. Now here's with Newton that we were talking about. Like, I always tease him that he can't throw the ball, but like he averaged a career low 177 passing yards per game last season. Yeah. Held to under 200 yards 10 times. He only had 8 touchdowns in 15 outings. One game, it was a 3-score touchdown game. So, I don't know. Now, he also had the COVID. Like, I want to give players that get COVID, I got to cut them some slack for sure. Mm-hmm. I don't know what they're going through, and these guys are like, straight professional athletes. So was part of it COVID? Sure, I'll cut them some slack there.
It affects everybody differently, and this isn't me debating or going against what you're saying. Like, Cam statistically did not have a good year last year
at all. No,
at all. So it's hard to beat, but like to play devil's advocate, if you look at I think it was the last 8 games, maybe it was 7 games. Him coming back after COVID, he put up like just decent numbers. They weren't bad numbers pre-COVID, bad numbers after he came back COVID. It was actually decent numbers.
Like, how are you going to peak? Well, I can't remember that Seattle game. It was like the 2nd game of the year. How are you going to peak in the 2nd game of the year, bro?
Yeah, dude.
One positive, though, I will definitely say the 12 rushing scores.
Yep.
He definitely can run it. So, they won 7 games last year. We'll see how many. I don't know. I don't see them. Like, I see maybe 9 and 7.
I was going to say, after
something
all
like that,
talking about this, where do you see New England next year?
Probably, honestly, not crazy that much better. Again, I'll say 9 and 7. 10 10-6 maybe.
You think playoffs?
Well, you got Buffalo, Miami in that division. Those guys are pretty stacked. So, yeah, wild card, 10-win team in the wild card way. Sure, I'll say that they might be in the wild card. Sure, yeah, for sure.
That's what I think too. I think last season, obviously, it was a bit of a mess. Cam Newton, Tom Brady leaving, people opting out. Like, it was just a shit show all the way around. We knew they were going to be bad from the jump. They're even better than we actually thought they were going to be. I mean, you predicted like 2 wins, 3 wins.
Oh, I thought they were going to be I thought they were going to be super brutal. Yeah, they still won 7 games. It still doesn't seem like they won 7 games.
It doesn't at all, man. So I think just based off this, Cam Newton year two, and quarterbacks always play way better year 2 of a system. I think they are going to be a playoff team. I think it's going to be a one-and-done team based on matchup. Maybe can eke out a game if they get a good matchup, but they're not going anywhere like deep with this.
Okay, so we talked about, it's not going to be Gronk and Hernandez, obviously. Like, Gronk's going to go down as a Hall of Famer, one of the best tight ends ever, sure. Right? And Hernandez, like, on the field was a beast,
Yep.
So
on and off the field, baby.
That's the thing here. Who's going to take the role of Gronk and who's going to kill people out of the tight ends? That's what I want to know. So who's stepping up and really putting in that work?
Yeah, no shit.
You know what I'm saying? But
we want total commitment on and off the field.
And it's funny, too. You see Tampa Bay loading up with all these players, and Bill's like, I got to spend the $68 million, sure. Like you say, right? So, like, what's Bill going to do now? Go marry a supermodel? Just fucking 1-for-1 with Brady?
Yeah, no shit, right?
Bella Hadid, just like, what up, bitch?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't know. They also got Kyle Van Noy back today.
Yep, they look really solid, man.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously, the most excitement team for them, for sure. Washington made a bunch of moves. They got your boy Fitzmagic.
Yes, sir. This is what I wanted to quickly touch on, too, is this does 2 things because you touched on Miami. We can go the Washington angle first because big implications for Miami on this, in my opinion, too, and also big implications in Washington. Like, my question is why? Clearly, like, Fitzmagic is, 38, 37?
38.
Right? So he's clearly not going to be your QB for the future. He's a QB that can win now, but he's not your QB for the future.
9th team.
What is the benefit, in your opinion, of going with Ryan Fitzpatrick over Alex Smith?
Well, here's the thing. Ron Rivera came out and said that he was literally scared every time he put Alex Smith in the game.
Did he?
Yeah. I think that's a cop-out, though, because that's it. You can say that and then get rid of the guy easier. Do you know what I'm saying?
He went 5-1, man.
Yeah. Yo, this guy's always been a winner. Always. He doesn't do it pretty, but he'll do it.
He'll win you games. And especially if, like, you know that you're going to be either trying to draft a QB or get a QB. People have talked about the Sam Darnold play for a while now. Like, for me, like, people obviously like Fitzmagic, but I don't see him as the same leadership kind of guy as an Alex Smith. Like, Alex Smith is fucking loved as a leader and as a person by everyone he plays with.
I don't think Alex Smith is going to be a starting QB anymore, though. Real talk.
After the season, everyone's kind of shaked out. I don't think he will be either.
No. Writing's on the wall, I think, now.
No.
And, like, whatever, you still got to come back, and you went out on your terms. So
he won comeback player of the year, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Even if he doesn't, still went out on his terms, so it's still a win, I think.
Fuck yeah, man.
So Fitzmagic, 1 year, $10 million deal. This is how. So they had Haskins released. Smith played 8 games. Ended up missing the wild card, though, because of injury.
Yep.
Heineke came in, played pretty good. They lost 31-23, but super impressed. Now, they also signed this guy, William Jackson. Now, to the casual fan, might not know. He's a cornerback from the Bengals.
Okay.
Now, this is super unfair, bro, because we all know how good the front seven is. This guy's a lockdown corner.
Really? Okay.
Oh, it's like it's going to be even tougher to play them. And on top of that, they picked up Curtis Samuel today to play opposite Terry McLaurin, who I love. Samuel's only 24, coming over from the Panthers. He had 851 yards on 77 catches. He had 200 rushing yards. He's like, you can use him in a lot of different sets.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I hate Dan Snyder, I think for the team, I think they did some good moves.
I think this is all Ron Rivera. Like, this is what you get when you have someone who is an actual coach and knows what he's doing, both on, like, as a coach on the field, but also, like, in terms of roster moves and personnel. Like, Ron Rivera is going to bring so much stability to that organization and make them a consistent contender in that division, especially because it's shit and it's the NFC East. Like, they're going to have the opportunity to win the division every single year with Ron Rivera as coach, in my opinion.
Oh, I think him going through the cancer, too, just galvanizing that team together.
For sure.
Like, there's a bond there.
Oh, and even with the whole Alex Smith coming back and that whole run and making the playoffs,
sure.
like, crazy.
Another team that did some moves, Cardinals.
Yeah, I saw this.
No, they signed A.J. Green, which not a big fan of. Production's gone down big time.
But he gets to play fourth. He gets to operate as the fourth receiver, as the fifth man up, bro.
Larry's not going to be there. Fitzgerald's, he's considering Tampa Bay or Vikings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so when they sign Green, that's him gone.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So now he's going to play with Hopkins. But like I said, he had 47 catches for 523 yards last year. He missed 2019 because of injury. And in terms of creating separation, he was one of the worst wide receivers, and he's only getting older.
For sure.
Like, I would have much rather Fitzgerald, to be honest, if I'm Arizona.
Yeah, I thought both of them were gonna play. I thought it was gonna
they
be
also
really cool.
signed a huge guy from the Raiders, Rodney Hudson, the center. He's so good.
Yep.
Can't believe the Raiders are moving off him, to be honest. This is going to be great for Kyler. He spent 6 seasons with the Raiders, and he actually asked out because of just all the losing and whatnot, and
For sure.
they released him. But I think that's going to do wonders for Kyler. Somewhere Russell Wilson's like, what the fuck?
Dude,
all these moves and
this was the funniest
nothing
thing
on the Seahawks part.
There has not been one signed person, or like they've not upgraded. They've not signed one person to the offensive line, which is such like a fuck you to Russell Wilson. Like, this is getting so ridiculous at this point.
Day one, I think 12 offensive linemen went on day one.
Dude, Kyle Long came out of retirement to play for the Chiefs. Like,
they also signed Tooney to a 5-year, $80 million, which I think is a bit much for a guard. But
I agree.
I mean, whatever. They still did it.
For sure.
Ravens got Zeitler, who I thought Seahawks was going to go. They've already lost Dunlap, and they just lost Shaquille Griffin in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know they signed Gerald Everett from the Rams today, big shit. But, like, I've honestly come to... This isn't going to end good. This is Russell Wilson's last year. I've said it right now.
You think so?
Mark my words.
I can't...
This is the last year he plays for the Seahawks.
I'm not going to bet against that.
And it's also come out, too. Remember, Chicago was like, we're going to put together this crazy package for Russ, right? They're going to be very aggressive. So it got leaked today what the trade was. And, like, I'm not even impressed. They offered 3 first-round picks, a third-rounder, and 2 starters that were unnamed. The source doesn't know who the starter was. 2 starters were. One of them better have been Khalil Mack.
Okay, think about this. If it's Khalil Mack, 3 first-rounders, a third-rounder, and then another starter, like, that's a decent package.
4 first-rounders and 2 starters, I might think about it. That's where my starting point.
Khalil Mack
Get the fuck out of here with that third rounder.
Khalil Mack is worth the fucking extra first-rounder, though. How much did... Who was the fucking pass rusher that got signed or moved? Was it this year, last year? There was someone big that moved.
From who?
What did Khalil Mack himself go for 2 years ago?
What do you mean go for, like...
Because he got traded, right?
Well, Oakland didn't want to pay him the money, so Chicago did.
Oh, I thought he got traded.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Because that was the last year of the deal, so he did get traded. And that's how they got Josh Jacobs and
Mack
all those other guys.
That's what I'm saying. So, like...
the wide receiver from the Raiders. So they got a lot of guys. It was the right move by the Raiders.
For sure. The one thing I don't understand, though, is, like, if you're Russell Wilson, like, out of all the teams to pick going to, you're going to go to Chicago without Khalil Mack and no first-rounders and no personnel?
That's what we talked about last time.
It's a fucking terrible decision.
I don't get that. And then, so... I love how, too, like, okay, the fan base obviously going crazy. Mm-hmm. They're like, we might get a chance with Russ, and then you end up with the red rifle.
Rocket. Yeah, baby.
Fuck, man.
That's
like Andy
tough.
fucking Dalton, bro.
Tough beat.
So
QB starts with an R. Everyone's losing their shit.
So as a Vikings fan, I'm super happy that Ryan Pace is a bad GM and got Dalton, and then I got Goff too. So from a Vikings perspective, this is looking real good. Dude, we signed Patrick Peterson
and that's
today.
Not even including fucking Detroit. Like, you guys...
Yeah, so I'm super happy. Yeah, that's going to be good, man.
Low-key, the person I feel the worst for in this whole scenario is Matt Nagy. I think,
fuck Matt Nagy.
Dude, Matt Nagy has worked with Mitch Trubisky and no one on the offensive side of the ball, and he made the playoffs. I legit think he's a good coach.
I would have... I can't believe I'm saying this. I would have rather Mitch Trubisky than fucking the Red Rifle.
I agree. They have no playmakers on offense, and you need somebody who can run the ball, and Trubisky can at least run.
He did decent after coming back in from Foles, so... the Bucs, too, made all these moves. They brought everybody back.
Yep.
They brought back David on a 2-year, $25 million. He's the heart and soul of that defense, defensive captain. What he did to Travis Kelce in the Super Bowl was...
super impressive.
Oh, fuck yeah. Gronk's coming back, 1-year, $10 million deal. Apparently, he was talking to Buffalo, but you picking Buffalo over Tampa Bay? Fuck out of here, Gronk. Shaq Barrett, they brought back $72 million, 4-year deal.
Yep.
He had a crazy year 2 years ago with 19 sacks. Last year at 8, but deserves the contract.
19
for sure.
sacks is fucking wild.
The Jets signed Corey Davis, the Tennessee Titans wide receiver.
Yep.
Whether it's for Darnold or Zach Wilson or anybody else remains to be seen. But Robert Saleh went out and got him, and a lot of guys are like they don't buy his talent, but apparently he eats, sleeps, and breathes football, and that's the kind of guys that Robert Saleh wants. So
yep, he was a top 10 NFL draft pick, right?
Top 5, I think.
Yeah, he was I think
he was number 5
in terms of talent. Like, he's right up there with any other prospect.
I'll give it to him. He hasn't lived up, but again, playing in that system, when you're giving it to Henry, and you should be, your numbers are going to be skewed.
100%.
It's like,
but you've got...
if I'm a wide receiver, I never want to go to Baltimore.
Exactly.
Just because they always run.
Buddy, they're pounding the rock. You also have Jonnu Smith the entire time. You have A.J. Brown as well. Like, that team is deep in terms... Like, those are your 1 and 2 guys after Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry's getting the ball 75% of the time. So, like, the amount of touches you're getting, it's not going to be a lot.
Now, the Jets drafted Denzel Mims last year. I actually don't mind him. A lot of people aren't high on him, but... and they got the vet Jamison Crowder. So, not hating their wide receivers, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Although... Sorry,
what's that, bro? Go ahead.
I was going to say, at this point, like, I'm a big believer that, like, you need to trade QBs as early as you can or move off of them. Like, Sam Darnold, like, there's so many teams now shoring up their quarterback position that, like, the longer this waits, like, there are less and less teams that would be willing to take Sam Darnold. So, like, you're going to get less and less and less for him. Like,
well, I've heard San Fran and I've heard New England. Like, Cam Newton, I heard, is not sold to be the starter.
You think so?
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
I thought...
I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, I heard that they're not finished. And Chicago, too, apparently is not finished looking for a quarterback. So we'll see. But, like, there's definitely some interest for Darnold.
Oh, there's tons. Washington...
If I'm the Jets, I'm drafting Zach Wilson.
For sure.
For sure, yeah. That's what I'm doing. It's cheaper. I can control him longer. And I think he's going to be a better pro than Sam Darnold.
And I think... Sam Darnold's had such a shit show that I think he deserves a re-up somewhere else. Like,
and I can't even put it on him.
No,
that
exactly.
Organization gave him nothing.
For sure. And so, like, I think there's a lot of issues with... Now, they did just re-up a bunch of their receivers, but, like, when you lose a lot and you have the same guy at the helm when you're losing, you start to lose trust in the guy at the helm. And so I think him being able to get a fresh set of teammates and start up somewhere else and with a team that actually wants him as QB... Like, I think it'd be really good for him.
I heard that even Pete Carroll was kicking the tires on him. West Coast guy, he coached at USC. Darnold went to USC. So,
yep. He's got all the... He's one of those guys that, like, has all the talent, has all the right stuff, and it's been a shit show, and you can't put anything on him. So, like, for sure, there's a lot of teams I could see work. I think him at Washington would be dangerous. Like, Ron Rivera was proven to be successful with athletic big quarterbacks. Cam Newton, like, that defense is a top 3 defense in the league, arguably. Like, that's a nasty team if Sam Darnold goes there.
Yeah, I think it ain't done with him. We wait till the draft. That there's something's gonna happen. Aaron Jones re-signed with the Green Bay. I was super shocked.
Yes,
I had him going to Miami.
He would have been nasty at Miami.
I thought I thought Miami's going to take the approach of, you know what, we got to surround Tua with weapons. I thought for sure he was going to go to Miami. I thought Miami was going to pay a bit more. And I thought it would have been fine, to be honest. I'm never a fan of, if I'm running an organization, I'm never paying my running back, I'm never paying my quarterback. I'm not doing it. I'll pay other pieces, but not those two. But this may be a case of trying to keep Aaron Rodgers happy too.
For sure.
If you're going to let this guy go. But, they drafted A.J. Dillon last year in the second round. And you draft somebody for the reason to cut the next guy and just, you know what I mean?
Yep. The one person, like...
They need a receiver. Like, they need other
big
pieces,
The one thing, though, is, like, Aaron Jones could have got more money somewhere else. So, like, yes, Green Bay obviously wants him back for the right price, and they're going to keep Aaron happy.
$12 million. I think that's a great price.
Dude, a crazy good price. Aaron is a top 10 running back for sure.
You took less money to play in freezing cold.
Exactly. Like, so what I'm saying is, like, Aaron Jones made the decision to stay there. He could have got more money, like, elsewhere. So, like, there's a lot of guys, especially running backs. Running back is the one position where it's like, yo, if you can get money, you need to go get your money because you got 5-7 years in the league, pretty much tops for most running backs, unless you're Frank Gore or AP. So, like, him saying, no, I'm going to take less money on a contract just because I want to stay with Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur, like, that speaks volumes to what he thinks of that team.
And, like, do you want to get paid and lose, or do you want to take a bit less and win?
Exactly.
And you're seeing a lot of these guys restructure their deals. Pat Mahomes already restructuring the deal, just signed it. Like, everybody's doing it now. So I think players are more than ever before, especially football, are looking at it like, yo, do you want to win or do you want to get paid and be on a bad team? So his deal is only ranked 6th amongst running backs, like, in talk about annual salary.
Mm-hmm.
And for his production, I think that's fucking great value. Like,
unbelievable.
Green Bay won on this one. Like, if you want to, like, I think they both. Well, he compromised. Now, the Packers, they lost Corey Linsley, which is huge. They lost Christian Kirksey, which is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens going forward with the O-line. But big win for Aaron Rodgers, though, in Green Bay, getting that guy back at $12 million a year. Another guy moved, Bud Dupree from Pittsburgh, the linebacker.
Yep.
He tore his ACL last year. Tennessee, I didn't think he was going to get this much on a multi-year deal. He got $16.5 million. Now, Tennessee finished third last in the sacks last year, so again, another franchise that has to overpay.
So this is the thing, is I wanted to get your opinion on this.
Yeah.
Because Bud Dupree, in terms of numbers, the last 2 years has been really productive in terms of sacks. Now, is that a product of Pittsburgh's front four being so unbelievably good that Bud Dupree has clear shot to the QB at times?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
Stephon Tuitt, you got TJ Watt.
Dude, unbelievable.
And you got their scheme, so
I think
he's going to have to prove, and I don't know, like, coming off that surgery, that much money,
and not having the front four, I think his numbers are going to regress a lot. And it's not necessarily that he's playing worse. I think he's just in a team, a front seven with less talent. So I think you're overpaying for less numbers, like a decrease in numbers.
He's the guy that's going to get double teamed all the time now.
Exactly. So I think as much as, like, it's a quality signing in terms of, like, he's a good player, like, he's a B plus player at his position. He's very, very solid, above average for sure.
I don't mind him. I like him.
But, like, this isn't the hole that they needed to fill. They needed to get specifically needs to get a D lineman pass rusher.
I don't know if I like him at $16.5 million. That's all.
That's what I'm saying too. Like, this is, like, yes, good signing in terms of the person, but this isn't your hole. So I don't know. I don't really agree.
Good win for Bud though.
For sure. I don't really agree with it though. I don't know.
We talked about Corey Linsley. The Chargers stepped up again. Want to protect their asset in Justin Herbert. So what do? They go get one of the best centers. They sign him to the richest center deal in NFL history.
This is what you got to do, though.
So he only allowed 4 pressures on 437 pass protection snaps.
Fucking unbelievable. That's 0.01. That's crazy.
So, huge win. And, like, again,
I'm absolutely retarded. That is 1%.
Casual fan might not, for Justin Herbert, I know he's loving it. So, yeah, man, you want to protect who you're riding with, and a lot of these just point back to Seattle, like we said. Like, I don't get the mentality. Cleveland signed John Johnson from the Rams. This is a huge signing for them. Their secondary shit. He's going to help big time. They get Delpit back this year, too. So I think that was definitely a weak spot for them last year. And I think getting back Greedy Williams, too, Denzel Ward all year, I think is going to be much improved next year.
I agree. I think they still need to, halfway through the season, they need to dump OBJ. They need to clear that contract out.
I still think Green Bay.
That'd be nasty. Because, if you're Cleveland, it doesn't make sense to drop him now because his trade value is low. So you use him a lot, first 6 games, get his numbers back up, increase his trade value, and then dump his ass. In my opinion, that's what I'd be doing. You do that?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that, to be honest, and I'll tell you why. Because once OBJ left, Baker took off and never looked back.
Yeah, the team got better.
So do you want to bring back OBJ and regress
Baker?
Baker?
You're saying just dump him now.
I want Baker to keep going. Baker's fucking hot.
Yeah.
Sorry, OBJ. And if I gotta lose on the trade, I lose on the trade.
Yeah, there's an argument there.
For the team going forward, it's the numbers are so crazy after OBJ left.
Yep.
So do we want to regress Baker? Nah, let's not do that.
Yeah.
There's a case. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but sometimes you ain't gonna win every trade. This is one you're gonna have to go into and be like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna probably have to bite the bullet on this one, and it is what it is. But for the team going forward, it's way better.
Especially if you can then pick up another piece to shore up your back end. You've got 2. If you can pick up a quality, which you'd be able to do if you can get a solid
or play
CB
someone besides Myles
Garrett.
Garrett. So he's not getting double team all the time.
That's true too. If you pick up another piece for your back end, or your front end, like you're saying, of your defense, because that offensive side of the ball is so stacked. They can go toe to toe with just about anybody in the league in terms of offensive production. So if you trade OBJ and you could pick up an A piece or 2 B pieces, that's a total win for Cleveland.
Yeah. Again, I don't think they're done. They've been pretty quiet. Trey Hendrickson from the Saints. He cashed in and signed with the Bengals, 4 years, $60 million. Now, with him, he was a role player first few years in the league, right?
Yep.
Had a good 2020, put up 13.5 sacks. But this is after putting up 6.5 in the 3 seasons before, but not a big role. So, for me, am I going to give someone $60 million on 1 season? Now, do I think he's going to be good? Okay, I do, but I hate giving players big money just off of 1 year performance.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's just
it needs to be consistent numbers over a period of 3 to 4 years.
No, it's not his fault. He was a role player, and when he got the time to shine, he did shine. Mm-hmm. So I'll definitely give him that. And he fucking wreaks havoc. Put up 12 quarterback hits, 12 tackles for loss. So, and the Bengals finished last in sacks. So again, Cincinnati, you're overpaying because you're Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. So, good for Hendrickson. He got the cash out in his good year. He's going to get $32 million in the first 2 years out of that $60 million. So
good for him.
What else do we got here?
Jacoby Brissett to the Dolphins to replace Mr. Fitzpatrick. I thought was interesting.
I actually would prefer Fitzmagic just from a leadership standpoint.
So would I, man.
But again, he wants a starting job.
This is the thing. So the question here is, since obviously Fitz and Tua, they've said that Tua is their guy, but it's okay, Fitz at any point in time could jump in. I think this now clearly is, hey, Tua is our guy. The thing though is bringing in Jacoby Brissett is almost we brought in a really good backup for a reason.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
You need a good backup these days, though. You can't just go with one quarterback. I guess. Because all the quarterbacks are going to get hurt. Everyone's got a 100% injury rate. You know what I mean?
What I'm beating around the bush of saying is, how much faith do you think the Dolphins have in Tua?
I think Brian Flores, that's his dude. They're riding for
You think so?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I don't know if I'm
now
not
that
sold.
Cowherd says he heard from players out of the locker room that they weren't sold, but I'm 100% sure that Flores is sold, and that's all that matters. That guy owns a locker room, so.
Okay. I'm not that set that they're that sold. I think them going out and getting Jacoby, yes, you need a good backup like you're saying, but they didn't make any big moves for weapons, unless I missed something.
No, still waiting for it. That's why I thought the Aaron Jones thing was going to be huge.
Aaron Jones or picking up
or another
Hunter
wide
Henry
receiver
or a Jonnu Smith or something, right? Like, I don't know.
But we're still away. Like, I know wait till the draft. A lot of shit happens.
Maybe Juju goes there because Juju's still on the market.
Yeah, he's still on the market.
For you.
Like, Galladay, the best receiver. He's talking to the Giants though.
I heard that too. Which is
that would be a huge win for Daniel Jones.
Yep. Especially with Saquon coming back too. Like,
they need to not let Galladay leave without a contract. Real talk. That guy. We talked about Aguilar, 19 yards per catch. Galladay leads the NFL, I think, since he came in on yards per catch. Like, that guy is
Galladay
a game
is one
breaker.
of the most underrated receivers in the league because he does not get
injury
brought up
history,
in discussion.
but like,
dude, he's unbelievable.
I think he played 5 games last year, but he's fucking sick, dude.
In terms of production, for sure.
He's so sick.
Now, the thing about this, which I like, is apparently during this process, Galladay the entire time has said, "I want to have a meeting in New York," and he's been pressing for New York, which is dope. Which leads me to believe that he's gonna take a little bit of a pay cut just because he wants to play in New York so bad.
Or he just signs with the Jets.
Can you imagine, bro? I'd be devastated.
That'd be the play right there.
Yeah, no shit, right?
So yeah, he had back-to-back 1,000-yard campaigns, 2018 and 19. Like I said, 5 games limited to injury, but
super underrated.
He is sick. So yeah, averaging 17 yards per reception during his 4-year career. So
that's wild.
Unreal. And yeah, like you said, there's still Juju out there. There's still Will Fuller, which I wouldn't touch, from Texans. He's injured all the time.
Yeah.
He does produce when he's on the field, though. Antonio Brown, also on the market. T.Y. Sammy Watkins, I wouldn't touch. So
AB is interesting. I think if you go to a place with an established head coach that wouldn't take shit from him, I think it's a good signing. But any other team with a new head coach or a young QB, don't touch that.
I wouldn't touch him. It worked with Tom because it's Tom.
That's what I'm saying. But if you go to a Green Bay,
he ain't gonna respect nobody else. This is where the problem lies.
I think if you went to Green Bay, I think it'd be great there. I think when you have,
sure, okay,
Jesus Christ,
yeah, that would be the one franchise.
When you're getting throw from
Seattle,
those are the two, right?
Yeah.
Those are the two where it's like because Pete Carroll wouldn't take shit, and you're getting thrown the ball from Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Either way, those are the only 2 franchises apart from Tampa where I could see him. Apart from that, don't touch him.
I could see him just even going back for some reason. I don't know how the fuck Tampa does it, but he's going to end up back in Tampa.
Probably. Juju, when he first got on the market, everyone's like, oh, he'll probably get snatched up pretty quickly, but he hasn't been. It's still early.
Surprised.
It's still early. This was my thought, do you think in my opinion, his off-the-field antics have played a part in this? Him doing all his stupid TikTok dancing on people's logos and then getting shut up. Like, he's clearly not a true number one. He's a great, great number 2. But this last year, without a number 1, he had to be the guy, and he wasn't as productive as he had been. So I don't think people are willing to pay him the money along with the drama that comes off the field with him. I think he's just, I don't know. I think it's just a case of worms you don't really want to touch.
I don't think the off-the-field shit bothers anybody. I think the fact that he averaged 8.6 yards per reception last year, that's what bothers people. Whether he can be a big threat again, like, he came in so hot.
Yep.
And definitely has tailed off.
Hard.
He's even in the slot now. He's not even lining up at wide out. So it all depends what a team's looking for. Like, he's only 24. So I'm not giving up on him. He's got so much upside.
He's that young? I didn't realize that. I thought he was like 27, 28.
No, he's 24. I think the off-the-field shit, I don't think bothers anybody. He's learned. He didn't really harm anybody.
Because, like, I know you're on Reddit and stuff, but, like, on Instagram and social, like, dude, he was getting eaten alive, bro.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter to anybody in the NFL that makes the decisions. These are fucking people on Reddit.
I guess when AB is beating his wife and Ray Rice is doing Ray Rice shit,
You're
TikTok,
mad that he danced on somebody's logo?
I got
you know what I mean? Like, that shit don't matter.
I'm already talking myself out of it.
But so it remains to be seen what team wants him and where they're going to line him up. I'm interested to find that out. So, but yeah, 24s. There's a lot of people after Juju. I'm sure he's not short on suitors
for sure.
You know, another thing that happened too. Drew Brees retired.
Yep.
And like, yo, what a fucking career.
Unbelievable.
One of the GOATs in the NFL for sure. Now, if we want to just rewind it a bit, The Chargers picked him in the second round in 2001. Spent 5 seasons with him. Had a bad shoulder injury, tore his labrum to his throwing shoulder. Chargers ended up going with Phillip Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
And Drew Brees signs in New Orleans. Now, he comes there after Hurricane Katrina.
The year after, right?
Yeah. Wins the Super Bowl. And, like, if you want to talk about one of the most important Super Bowls ever, if you ever want to rank them like that, this is definitely right there.
Drew Brees, he literally galvanized that entire state. For that year, he felt like he brought the country together because everybody in the entire U.S. was hurting after Katrina. Saints
had 1 playoff win before he came there.
Drew Brees, I don't think people understand what Drew Brees means to Louisiana. Like, it is unbelievable the impact that guy. And yes, we had this hiccup this year, but for his entire career, he has been an absolutely amazing human being.
So 15 years, 7 division titles, 9 winning seasons. Talk about having almost every record you could have, which is going to be broken by Tom Brady, but still.
Dude, some of the list of shit he has right now is
it's
crazy.
You're talking All-Pro, 13 Pro Bowl selections, Comeback Player of the Year in 2004, Walter Payton Man of the Year in 2006, all-time leader in passing yards, passing completions, second in passing touchdowns. And here's the thing. He threw for 5,000 yards 5 times. Only guy to do it more than once.
Mm-hmm.
In the 101 year history of the NFL, no one has more 3, 4, and 5 touchdown passes than him.
Yep.
And 3 and 400-yard games than him. So
his numbers are arguably the best of all time in terms of raw statistics.
And you want to talk about a small guy that no one really gave a shot.
Undersized. He came out of Purdue, I think, right?
Yeah, Purdue, yeah. So, like you said, he had a little bit of a hiccup this year. Not his finest moment.
It happens, bro. We've let him go on this podcast.
Yeah. But, no, like, true class act and... Yeah, goodbye to a great... I remember, like, this... Did you see that video that came out with him pushing the sled in the parking lot with the weights on it?
No.
And everyone's like, oh, shit, he's coming back. No, and it's like, fuck, right? Like, what
the
fuck? But, no, obviously not. Like, and, like, you remember how he looked on the field? He's, like, looking back, and then he's, like, talking about Tom Brady after. Like, you're not fucking coming back after that shit. You know what I mean? So...
You could tell it was his last.
And like real dog, he was falling apart. He had 11 fucking broken ribs last year.
Dude, he like
42 years old. You want to do this shit, bro?
Talk about guys who like put the body on the line for the team. Like that man is ancient in terms of age in the NFL, and he was getting destroyed.
One of the most accurate, probably the most accurate quarterback I've ever seen.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think this is a great way because like last year, you could tell that it was really like, okay, he's declining. He's obviously very injured. Go out where you're still like a respected QB talent. You're not just a disaster, right? Like, I love seeing guys go out like this, not on top, but like clearly, like they were right there in terms of being like on the the Super Bowl bubble. Like, go out. This is the way you're supposed to go out if you're a QB. This is like the ideal career.
And everyone wants to hate that he's only won 1 Super Bowl. Same thing with Rodgers, like, But like, if I'm not mistaken, I think. Only 12 players have multiple Super Bowls.
You know how fucking hard it is to win a Super Bowl?
The fact that you got one is pretty fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm guilty of that too, though. Like I've said it with Aaron Rodgers. You wasted Aaron Rodgers if you only won 1.
It's true.
But like fuck, you won 1, dude. That's fucking pretty.
Especially like
pretty high praise. Dude.
Before Drew Brees, the New Orleans Saints were a joke. He
1 playoff win.
Handedly turned around a franchise and won a Super Bowl. Like.
For sure.
They went from a bottom-feeding team to consistently being an elite team for the last 15 years.
Fans were wearing bags on their heads. Okay? So, you want to talk about what the fuck that guy did for that franchise?
Yeah.
Like, you want to talk about one guy turning that franchise. Like, I want to know what the value of that franchise went up in those 15 years.
Oh, crazy.
Because of Drew Brees.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? That's a fucking stat I need to look up.
For sure.
Now, here's what happens, the fallout with that now. I don't understand why they came out and said, we're signing Taysom Hill to a 4-year, $140 million extension.
I don't get this.
When it's really a 1-year deal. Like, what the fuck, you guys? I don't even know why they did that, bro. It's so fucking stupid.
Especially when you're bringing back Jameis with the intent to have a QB
Jameis with $12 million.
Yeah. And, like, to be honest with you, if I'm Sean Payton, I'm giving Jameis the job.
Oh, it's Jameis' job.
We've talked about this. Like, so what are you doing with that contract? It's Jameis' job.
It's going to be a dual thing again.
But I don't get how, like, that's crazy to me.
But the fact that you say you're giving him it's a voidable 4-year 140. I don't even know why you're reporting on that, because there's no fucking way that guy's ever getting $140 million, or there's no way he's going to be on the team for 4 years. I don't believe it. So what it really is a 1 year $10 million with, if you want to talk about bonuses and all this other shit. But yeah, I don't like the language there.
I agree.
And yeah, Winston, we'll see. He threw 11 passes only. Still only 27 years old.
Dude, I'm low key. We had talked about this when he was on the Bucks before he went to the Saints. Like, I'm a big believer. Like, Jameis Winston, was he the number 1 overall pick?
I do not remember.
Or he was the second QB to go in the.
He was high up there, though.
He was either the first or second QB. He might have been the number 1 pick. I don't remember. In terms of raw QB skill, he threw for 5,000 yards. Like, the dude can play. And
and over 30 touchdowns.
And this was pre-LASIK Jameis. Like, the man couldn't see. He was throwing for 5,000 yards. Like, you get him under Sean Payton and let him learn from Drew Brees for it's been 2 years. Like, that is the absolute ideal scenario.
He was first overall in 2015.
Yeah. So, like, I'm a big believer that I have a lot of faith that this will work. If they go all in on Jameis,
well, Sean Payton's the key here.
Yeah, for sure. But that's what I'm saying, right? Like,
and then you got fucking Thomas.
Yeah,
makes your job a lot easier.
And you have the option with Taysom Hills. Like, that offense is crazy.
And I think you got to think Payton can at least half those interceptions. Give me 12 picks, bro.
Dude, that LASIK and Payton, it's over for the
league. Give me 30
bro.
And 12, and I'll be like, yo, good job.
Yeah, straight up.
You know what I mean? So,
do you want to end that for NFL at least?
Yeah,
we're going on for a while. In the fight world, big news that I'm really excited for, because this has become a bit of a shit show. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua have signed their contracts.
Yeah.
They've agreed to a 2-fight deal. The first fight coming in, I think they said like 3 or 4 months, and then a second one in December, most likely. I am so fucking pumped for this fight.
Yeah,
so same fucking here, pumped.
Same here.
I got a question for you though.
Yeah.
Have you seen Tyson Fury's Instagram?
No.
He apparently is back on the drinking.
Yeah.
And he's looking a little bit out of shape.
So if he's on the drinking, he's on the rails.
So
that's my boy.
This is my thought on the whole thing.
Yeah.
It is just Instagram, and it's one video, 10 seconds. We don't know. But if Tyson Fury is on the rails, or off the rails and on the rails at the same time, Anthony Joshua has a real chance at winning this fight. If he is not, and he's on the straight and narrow still, and this was just a little like birthday thing or something, I don't know, or it was just a bad snippet at just a one day he wanted to drink, whatever, fuck, I think he beats the shit out of Anthony Joshua.
Tyson Bender Fury?
Yes, sir. Now, Tyson Fury is so fucking good at marketing himself. My conspiracy mind is like, yo, I think he did this shit on purpose to build this fight, because it gives Anthony Joshua a lot more legitimacy. Because I think a lot of people before this were like, yo, Tyson Fury is going to walk through Anthony Joshua. You and I have both said that. But if people think that Tyson Fury is off the rails, he's going to come in hot, I think he could be like making this whole shit up just to sell the fight.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Because he's a genius with that. He's so good on the mic.
But I'm pretty sure he's taking this pretty seriously. So I think maybe it's antics, like you say, more than anything.
No.
You know. But again, I haven't seen it, so I don't really know.
Did you see the purse split on this?
No, what was it?
So purse split is 50-50 first fight, and then second fight, the winner of the first fight gets 60-40.
Yeah, that's pretty standard. Yeah, it's gonna be good to fucking get these guys going here. Fuck, finally. And then, did it say where the first fight's gonna be?
It hasn't said.
The second one's gonna be overseas. You got to think one of them's gonna be overseas.
For sure. But did you see that the UFC is hosting their first full fan event in Florida?
Yeah, 261.
That makes me think that this fight hasn't been announced yet, and this is going to come after 261. We could see a full stadium in Florida, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua.
I got to say it's Vegas. I don't see this fight being in Florida.
Vegas could do it too. I don't know if they've opened up fully though, the same way Florida has. But you got to think in 3 months they will be for sure.
I just don't see a fight going down in in Florida. But I mean, I could be wrong. So talking about 261, right? April 24th.
Yeah.
3 title fights.
Yep.
And like you said earlier, first full crowd in over a year. So it's gonna be Usman Masvidal, Shevchenko, Andrade, and Weili Zhang and Rose Namajunas.
Low key, the Rose fight is the fight I'm most excited for on that card.
Yeah, I think Kamaru is gonna
beat the living shit out of Jorge.
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, you might be right. That might be the fight of the night right there, then.
I sure think so, man. Like,
yeah.
Both these girls stand and bag. Rose is my favorite female fighter. She's so much fucking fun to watch. She's such a good striker. Weili Zhang is just a tank, obviously, the Joanna Jędrzejczyk fight. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, we just had 3 title fights. And then we just got another one. So, yeah, let's do this shit.
Dude, and the next card is fucking Stipe versus Ngannou. Like, holy shit, man. There's been some good cards, bro.
The fucking eye poke.
Oh, yo, we have it. Okay,
dude.
Yo.
And then this motherfucker has the gall to say, I deserve a title fight.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, man.
I feel so bad.
Yo, that eye, son?
Dude, I feel so bad for Leon Edwards, man. Like,
fuck Leon Edwards. I feel bad for got his eye poked.
Okay, clearly. But in terms of, like, Leon Edwards.
Shit.
Yeah. Oh, what is that? How far are we in right now? In terms of, like, someone who's
and he did it before too. He already got warned.
Dude, it's Leon Edwards. It was an accident, man. But in terms of someone who's gotten like
I don't give a fuck who it was.
Absolute worked around by the UFC, like Leon Edwards has had a tough fucking go, man.
Yo, fuck Leon Edwards, all right?
Yo, you need to get off this fucking man's dick, okay?
Fuck that shit, dog.
You're stroking it too much.
He deserves a title fight. Get the fuck out of here.
I disagree. He deserves a title fight, but also having fought once in the last 2 years when he was pretty much in line for a title fight, like, come on, bro.
All right, it is what it is, man. There's a lot of guys that haven't fought though, right? Like, let's, look at what.
Not ranked that highly though, man. Everyone's been active in the last 2 years.
So what was it totally for him? Why couldn't he fight? What were all the reasons?
I think it was 2 years ago. Someone pulled out, and then and someone got injured.
Well, obviously the flight restrictions,
and then COVID, and so he's missed. Like last year was COVID. Obviously, he was locked in the UK. But then the year before that, he had 2 fights that fell through, and that weren't his fault. So he's been off for like 2 years.
Couldn't he go to like Fight Island? Like there had to be UK guys going to Fight Island, right?
I'm not sure, but either way, like he's been off for 2 years and then comes back and double eye pokes this man in the face. Now, I want to give credit because this man went knuckle deep on Boy's eyeball. Like that thing was fucking
Bilal Muhammad
in there. Yeah, like that thing was in that bitch.
Dude, that guy was crying.
Yeah,
like fuck.
Tough go.
Yeah. Who have you heard who they want him to fight next at all?
Who?
Leon Edwards.
I think they want to run this back. I thought was the plan.
Oh, they are going to run it back?
I think that's the plan.
Okay.
Apparently, Leon Edwards said he's like unhappy with the no contest, and Muhammad was like, "Yo, you need to retire then." Just throwing shit.
Yeah, Leon Edwards, they don't need to be talking right now. Real talk. Like you're in the wrong 100%. But that's cool. Run it back. Let's do this again. Whatever. I'm not too mad at that. It is what it is.
Now, before the eye poke, he was piecing the fuck out of Muhammad. Like he was beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, he looked all right. Yeah, for sure, he looked good.
So I don't know. It's tough, but
this weekend, Holland Brunson.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot to get excited
about.
I'm
I'm really excited for this fight.
Really?
Yeah, totally. I'm super stoked for this fight.
Okay, sell me on this fight right now.
Well, Holland, he's won like what 5 in a row. He came in short notice on all these guys, talking mad shit and backing it up. And Brunson's won what 3 in a row now. Like, yeah, I'm super excited. I think this fight's gonna be dope, bro. I don't know about the rest of the card, but this fight is gonna be really good.
I think for me, it's like
I really like Holland. He was on Rogan. I didn't listen to it, but I really like this Holland cat.
For me, I'm a big fan of like the story and getting into like the whole scenario behind a fight. And like for me, like these are 2 really skilled guys, but it's like 2 gatekeepers going at it. You know what I mean? It might be a crazy fight to watch, but in terms of like implications, this doesn't really fucking mean anything.
I got Holland winning, and he's up and coming. Like he's making noise. I think this is gonna just put him on another level. So
could be right.
I think Brunson's ranked 3. He's ranked 10th. Something like that. I could be wrong, but it's something like that. It's pretty close.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, no, I think it's going to be a really good fight.
The one fight that fight, it'll probably end up being a good fight because they'll both bang with each other. Specifically, Derek Brunson's super explosive in the first round. I'm also really excited for the co-main event, which is Gregor Gillespie versus Brad Riddell.
Don't know these guys.
Gregor Gillespie was unfortunately on the receiving end of that absolutely sick slip high kick Kevin Lee knockout last year or 2 years ago. Arguably, like, in terms of skill, one of the best KOs I've ever seen.
Nice.
Before that, Gregor was undefeated. He's 13-1. Brad Riddell is 9-1. Both these guys are absolute fucking monsters.
So who's winning?
Dude, this is the thing. I have no fucking clue. Gregor Gillespie is like a wrestling specialist, though. So I really don't know. But both these guys are top shelf in terms of talent. And this is like, whoever wins this kind of goes into the top 5 conversation.
Anyone else on the card that I would know?
No, dude. There's
well, that's cool. I'll still watch it anyways, but yeah, cool.
But I'm really excited for that fight. You are right, though. The first fight will probably be good in terms of action, but there's not a lot of implications with it.
It's all good. We got to look forward to 261.
Yes, sir. Don't got anything else I want to talk about in terms of sports. That's about it for me in terms of sports, brother. You got anything else?
I got one quick story.
Give her.
Oh, okay, actually. Yeah, we'll talk about this instead. Remember Frankie Edgar getting fucking that knee from Sanhagen out cold?
Yeah.
So he's come out and he's like talked about the incident and like actually how fucking scary it was for him.
Okay.
And it was like, yo, fuck, man, like
concussion symptoms and stuff.
Yeah. So this is what he wrote on the net. He's like, I didn't really come to until I was in the back. This is the first thing I can remember. I'm sitting around the doctors, going through the whole process. Mark and Ricardo are next to me, and I'm like, Mark, what happened? He's like, you fought. And I kind of figured that, but I couldn't remember who the fuck I fought. I'm like, who did I fight? Jesus the coach Christ. Said Sanhagen. I'm trying to remember training for the guy, and I couldn't remember training for him. He's like, I thought maybe I took the fight at short notice. And he's like, no, you've been training for 2 months.
Holy shit.
So he's like, he goes on to say, I couldn't wrap my head around it. The doctor asked me what day it was. And for the life of me, I couldn't remember. I was like, September, December. That's when they're like, okay, CAT scan. He's like, okay, go to the hospital. The nurse and the ambulance said what day of February it was. And then boom, just like that, it came back to him. He was like, it was the 6th. He's like, I started remembering warming up for the fight, even the first 20 seconds before getting caught. Everything came back to me. But I don't remember walking out of the cage.
That's wild.
So just like a little window of what these guys are going through.
Could you imagine, like, what happens if that never clicked back? Like, he was always just out. Like, it's
scary, dude. You know what I mean?
No joke, man. Like,
you don't think he was sitting there like, fuck, is this worth it?
For sure. We've talked about this.
You know what I'm saying?
We love Frankie. And Frankie, get out while you're still all there. Like, this is a big wake-up call. Like, you've got a family. Like, I love you, bro, in terms of who you are and what you've done for the sport. Get out while you're still not drooling all over yourself. I don't know.
Wake-up call. Fun fact.
Big time.
Fun fact. Tyrone Woodley. Remember he released a song, I'll Knock Your Ass Out?
Yep.
Week. He's lost 14 consecutive rounds since then. You ain't knocking out no one, son.
That's a tough go.
All right, that's it.
All right, everybody. For those who don't know, we do 2 shows a week. This is Water Cooler Wednesday. It's usually actually Thursday with how we've been doing it lately. We talk sports. We also have our Friday episode where we talk about whatever the fuck we want to. If you are listening to us on Wednesday, check out our Friday show. We'll be releasing then. Whatever you're listening to us on, be it Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, even SoundCloud if you are, please give us a like, follow, subscribe, whatever it is. We really appreciate it. Also, check out our YouTube page. We do take videos of this and post it on there as well. Our subscriber count is real low, so we could use a bump. Love you all. See you on Friday.
Thanks. Peace.